Susan presented as a woman who had had a congenital deformity of her feet, the shortening of toes on both feet, and she was extremely self-conscious about it, so much so that she would never wear open-toed shoes. She would avoid situations where anybody could see her feet.
I always wanted to do gymnastics in school, but I couldn't because you had to take your shoes and socks off. I'd go to the pools and wear tube socks. I would go to the beach. I loved the beach, but I always had my feet buried in the sand. Nobody ever saw them, not my immediate family members, nobody. So it was something very painful that I lived with, emotionally painful. It's still tough to talk about today. When I was 18 years of age, I was, pretty independent. At that point, I started seeking out help to see if there was some corrective surgery or something that could correct the deformity. I went to a bunch of doctors on Long Island. I would get the same thing. Nobody looks at your feet. They look at your face. You have such a pretty face. Don't worry about your feet.
People have a leg length discrepancy, a limb shortening. They have a limb deformity. And if it's not a life-threatening thing, and they can wear a 2-inch block, or they walk around with a crooked leg, and the person doesn't know how to treat it, then the answer becomes just live with it. If somebody has a limb-threatening situation where they're missing a piece of bone and they don't know how to treat it, then they say, do an amputation.
One of them actually said to me, "Oh, you know what? We'll just cut off one toe. This way, if they scanned your foot, we would amputate one toe. This way, if they scanned your foot, it would appear to be a normal foot. You wouldn't have the bulge of that toe."
Physicians like to take care of what they know. Surgeons sometimes develop this attitude that if it's something that they don't know how to treat, then it shouldn't be treated, or you just have to live with it. And that is a phenomenon that I have seen over and over and over again.
I found a doctor out in California. I was going to go to him, and then I woke up one morning and I said, silly me. I live in New York. We have the top surgeons in Manhattan. Why am I going to California, leaving my daughters for 12 weeks, which is my priority, raising them? I called the hospital for special surgeries, and they referred me to Dr. Rozbruch. I came in, and he walks in the room, and he says to me, "Oh, that's no problem. I just fixed a college girl. That was her summer project. She had the same thing. She just sat and let it heal, extended her toe, whatever. It's not a problem at all."
I also noticed that she had bow leg deformities, bilateral. That was also part of this congenital situation that she had.
I believe he said 8 or 9 degrees bowed. Let's fix that at the same time. And that was another thing that I hid also. What bothered me is for all these years I was seeking out a doctor, and Rozbruch, by the time I got to Rozbruch, he was doing it for, I believe, 10 years.
Sometimes physicians will not even tell patients about these alternative reconstructions that are possible, successful, and really have become mainstream. Sometimes it's because they just don't know.
He made it seem like it was not a big deal, and that was it.
And we got it done. In a staged fashion, I did osteotomies, which is bone cutting of both tibias, about 2 inches below the knees, which allowed me to straighten out the leg alignment. I did osteotomies of the metatarsals, which are the foot bones, and we lengthened those in order to be able to reposition the toes. It worked beautifully.
I had like zero pain. It was amazing. I can't believe I'm getting emotional about this. Okay. I never missed a day at the gym. I still went to the gym with these external fixators on my legs.
Now, while patients are in the frames, the external fixators, they're moving around, they're active, they're walking, and they're rehabilitating. And then when the fixators come off and the bone's all healed, that's when they start sort of the advanced rehabilitation program for strengthening and high-level activities. And Susan, just completely came out of her box. With her new legs and with her new feet, her personality just started to sparkle. You could just see the transformation.
I've run 2 New York City marathons since I've had my surgeries with Rozbruch. The leg thing was a little more acceptable, I think, socially for me, but the foot deformity was absolutely by far the best decision I've ever made, and the bow leg correction was an added bonus.
Right.
At times it seems like these were my beautiful feet forever, and then at other times I feel like I'll wake up in the middle of the night still trying to hide my feet. thinking I still have the deformity that I lived with for so long.
You know, I can relate to what you experience, obviously, because I've taken care of a lot of patients who have undergone what you've undergone. But on a personal level, I had laser eye surgery.
So did I, 2 weeks ago. If I can help somebody put that pain, that emotional pain that I went through for all those years as a child, as a young adult, as a mommy, put that pain away for them, lead them to Rozbruch to help them correct their deformity. That's why I'm doing this video, that's why I've done articles. You know, everyone's degree of pain is different. What is more painful for me, it was not the surgeries at all, it was the emotional pain that I lived with my entire life.
Part of my job is to educate other physicians as I educate the public and patients about what is possible.